Alo Komi Keshito.
Wachi.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on GhanaTalks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare.
Regina Bliss.
Deborah Adosu.
And I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
GhanaTalks Radio, #1.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
GhanaTalks Radio, #1.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
It's a beautiful and a blissful Thursday morning, and you are welcome to the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show right here on GhanaTalks Radio. You're welcome to the news headline review. Right here, we bring you all the latest headlines making waves in the news. From business to politics, from sports to entertainment, we got you covered with the most relevant stories and informed perspectives on issues that matter to you every morning right here on the show. I am your host, Ruth Esenam Fiagbadu, and joining me this early morning is my knowledgeable ladies who are going to share their informed perspectives on issues that matter to you every morning right here on the show. They'll be serving breakfast with me. Good morning to you ladies, and you're welcome to the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
Good morning.
How you doing, Miss Regina?
I'm good by grace, your side.
I'm well rested. Miss Debbie, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You're doing great. Breakfast yet?
Not yet.
Not yet, but soon.
Sort of.
Or today, no eating.
It's
Are you
not
doing
like
Azumi?
No, I'm not feeling quite well. So.
Oh.
But that doesn't mean I will eat. I need the energy to
Yes,
work.
you need the energy to work,
So
and you have to
take in
eat
something.
and take in some medications as well. Is it money sickness or you know? Some of us, when we don't have money, we become very sick.
No.
I need to say, maybe I have to give you medication.
No, not what? No money.
No money.
No, just
It's Ohio, right. This morning we are going to be looking at some interesting news stories. Right. For our first story, there's been an audit. The Auditor General has actually come to give a report. So on behalf of the Auditor General, the Deputy Finance Minister gave that report. And that is what we'll be looking into this morning, and two other few news headlines right here on the show. So here are some 10 highlights from the Auditor General's report on government arrears. The Deputy Minister for Finance, Thomas Nyaku, has presented findings from the Auditor General's report on government arrears and payables as of the end of 2024. The audits conducted with international firms EY and PwC uncovered several irregularities and questionable claims within government spending. According to the Finance Ministry, the findings point to serious weaknesses in financial mismanagement across some public institutions. Here are the 10 key highlights from the report. Massive rejection of claims. Out of 68.7 billion Ghana cedis in arrears submitted for validation, auditors rejected 8.1 billion Ghana cedis due to issues such as fraud, duplications, and claims for work that was not done. Another is 13.3 billion Ghana cedis could not be validated because of insufficient documentation. Second, alleged fictitious ID1F debt. Auditors found a request for 89.4 million Ghana cedis in interest subsidies under the One District, One Factory program. However, the 5 commercial banks involved reportedly said they were not owed any such funds. Third, the buffer account irregularity. A payment of 10.5 million Ghana cedis was reportedly made to a buffer account at a commercial bank, but auditors discovered that the account number did not exist and did not match the bank's official numbering system. 4. Missing food supplies for dry spell relief. Government reportedly paid for 34,000 metric tons of rice for dry spell relief in 2024, but only 24,000 metric tons were distributed. About 10,000 metric tons remain unaccounted for. In addition, only 11.9% of 100,000 metric ton maize contract was supplied. 5. Recycled invoices. Auditors found that 4.4 billion Ghana cedis in claims that had already been paid between 2020 and 2024 were resubmitted for payment. The Ministry of Roads and Highways accounted for 3.6 billion Ghana cedis of these repeated claims. 6. Teacher trainee allowance discrepancies. The Ministry of Education reported 160 million Ghana cedis in unpaid teacher trainee allowances, but the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission indicated that no arrears were outstanding as of December 2024. Unsupported bank transfers. Auditors identified 293 million Ghana cedis in bank transfer payments involving 6 ministries, including the Ministry of Gender and the Ministry of Roads, with no supporting contracts, invoice, or records of work done. 8. Agenda 111 mobilization payments. About 7.9 million US dollars was paid as mobilization to 35 contractors under the Agenda 111 hospital project. Some contractors reportedly failed to start work or did work that did not match the payment received. False delivery records. Some institutions, including the Ministry of Defense and the judicial system, reportedly submitted delivery confirmation documents for vehicles that were never delivered. Referral for prosecution. The Finance Minister, Dr. Kistelato Forsen, has referred a report to the Attorney General for investigation and possible prosecution of officials and contractors involved in the irregularities. So these are 10 key highlights of the Auditor General's report. And I must say that it's so appalling, so sad. So much irregularities. Me seeing the teacher trainee allowance irregularities is even shocking me. When we've seen the previous administration, we've seen that teachers have been on the streets protesting for their monies. Come on. Now the question here is, what does these findings actually reveal about financial management in Ghana's public sector? Are we safe as a country at all? Looking at this report from the Auditor General. Ms. Regina, I'll start with you, please.
You do think we are safe? Okay, so ASAMO under the past administration. You know, when I read this news, one thing that came in mind was fraud, dishonesty, greediness, and selfishness. Because tell me why this is not only from one ministry or one institution. Now you can say, oh, probably it was an oversight. This looks like a plot that was orchestrated very well. It's just they put in so much thinking, effort. How
can you forge a bank account?
Cars that were not delivered, irregularities. So the money. 1D, 1F. Where is the money? The teacher's money. Where is it? As you are saying, this is not just one institution, then we would have given an excuse that, oh, probably it was an oversight. But this clearly shows that it wasn't an oversight. And honestly, the only thing most people we are thinking about now is accountability and transparency. But I can boldly say that nothing will be done in regards to this. Because looking at the past, not the past, but currently what is going on. Omutumi chio bitum se nipa no ayese at the end of the day, na nipa na fa no ha sakwa ko sue the states. If they would do something, fine. But if Omunimzomonya, they shouldn't come out and be giving us a lot of findings. We know we want transparency, but it shouldn't just be transparency coming out to update us each and every time and nothing is being done. NSS scandal, they are still on it. Edubonhinis issue, they are still on it. And other people. This calls for serious investigations, and it's a serious issue they need to pay critical attention to. If they don't bring the people to book, trust me, it would open, it has even already opened doors for other ministers to embezzle state funds. They are not thinking about the trust of the public, how the public would feel. And mind you, this has effect on both the political parties, because in fact we no longer even trust any of these parties anymore, because as they are coming, no one is coming with their clear conscience, no one is coming with their brains. Most people have ideal messages, ideal visions, but once they get there, I don't know if it's some sort of spirit or should I say you can say minister's bad influence. Definitely, if someone is embezzling, he or she would find a way and bring you in. So they need to investigate it and call each and every one. This all boils down to the Ministry of Finance. Because without the Ministry of Finance, such monies cannot be embezzled, because he definitely gave the go-ahead for such disbursement of money. So the Ministry of Finance is key before all the sectors also comes in. I believe that everyone who was in charge of these sectors are still around. They need to take them on fast before they
jackpot. Right, Miss Debbie, how did we as a country sit for all these irregularities to happen without proper checks? Why has it taken us so long to find out all of these financial mismanagement and irregularities?
Well, I wouldn't say they've not been proper checks, but I feel like the same people who are being taxed to ensure that things are being put in its normal place, and also ensure that public officials that are given positions do not embezzle from the state are the same people who are stealing the money. So right now, who is going to ensure that those checks and balances are being put in place or are being adhered to? So I wouldn't say that they are not aware. They knew what was going on, but I would say it was intentional. It's intentional because tell me why all these things were going on. Money was being dispersed for trainees, 160 million. So it means it was intentional. Then it also tells me that when the citizens are in distress, that is when you find your happiness. That is when you find your joy. You find your joy when people are sad, when people cry, when people roll to you. That is where you find your happiness. And that is what the NPP government did. So imagine that they are still in power. Trust me, we are not going to see this. We are not going to even hear of it. Ghost name appear, bank accounts, forging names. I remember when the current finance minister was being appointed, he made mention that there were instances where he realized that there were audios that was audio scroll. They forged the audios sounding like a company that needs loan. They brings in fake documents, fake files just to take loan, just to take money. And when they were tracing, these companies do not exist. So where is the money? But it was human being that brought those letters. It was human being that brought those audios to take the money. So where are they? They are in the country. So it should tell you that this was intentional. It was the NPP government intentionally stole from the state, and there is nothing that they can tell me to believe that this wasn't intentional. This is huge sum of money. Do you know what it takes? So let's just put all this money together, and let's be sincere to ourselves. If this cannot be used for something good, so you are happy for people demonstrating, you know fully well that the money was paid. Why didn't you pay them? Why didn't you do it? So you were waiting for what exactly? Where is the money? What did you use the money for? You see, my problem is they bringing out this expose is not my problem. Oh. So after this, what next?
Exactly, that's the question.
What next?
They referred the issue to the Attorney General, and then we'll be here. They'll be giving us updates. But at the end of the day, we'll see that nobody is being prosecuted.
So
for their crimes.
So what next? Because they are rather getting us angry. You cannot bring this expose out, and after that, we don't get to even hold these people accountable. They and then they go about speaking. They know they are free. They know no one can hold them responsible. But imagine you bring this expose out. These people are being held accountable, and then they face what they did. But if at the end of it, you look at this NSS scandal, as it stands now, we've all lost hope because as it stands now, the woman has been granted bail. She being granted bail doesn't mean that they've ended the case. So she has been granted bail, let's say, on one account of the charge. So the remaining charges are there. So till there is a rising incident, you go back to court. They will deal with that. And whether that issue to they will grant you bail, they will grant you bail on that account. Then it continues like that. Yesterday I was telling you that Togo, their former football FA president, he was jailed, life imprisonment, together with his wife and his son.
I saw one too from another country. Also, same thing. Minister. That person is a minister, and that person has been jailed.
His wife,
we
his
can't do it
son,
in Ghana
plus
here.
himself was being jailed, life imprisonment, and their accomplices were given 5-year jail term each. So it means that Oji Sikana, he diverted the money into the account of the wife and into the account of the son. And they jailed this 3 family, life in prison. Can we do same here? What is preventing us? What is stopping us? That is why we are calling for the reviews. Most of the laws that we have are not working. Let's scrap them or bring in new laws. Let the law work. Let it work because it's painful. Look at this huge sum of Yajamanakasa. See, it's sad because if we don't see anything profitable out of this, then they should stop it. They should stop bringing it out to get some of us because they're getting some of us angry.
Because
you cannot bring such an expose and then you allow these people to. So what are you trying to say? We applaud you for bringing it out, but the most important thing is the people who caused this mess needs to be taken on. But if you bring out this and the people who caused this mess are allowed to go scot-free, then what is the use? Are you playing with our emotional intelligence or what? This is an insult to my integrity, to Ghanaians' integrity.
Oh, yes. Because we pay taxes.
We pay.
And I believe these taxes also sort out some things in the ministry and the Ghanaian economy as well. So if funds are being embezzled right there, there are sort of financial mismanagement and irregularities, and we are getting to find out. We have every right to be angry. But that shouldn't be the case. It shouldn't just end here. They've been referred to the Attorney General. In the coming days, we want to see proper checks and proper investigation going on into this particular issue. Because one thing that will make this government lose is giving us hope that Ora is coming giddy, and at the latter part we don't get to see anything. It's so appalling and very poor.
See, let's be sincere and tell this government the real truth, okay?
Oh yeah.
They should do something else. This same thing will boot them out. They can be good. If you don't arrest these people, then what is your?
They told us Operation Recover All Loot, but the recovery is not coming on, and it's sad. Right, let's move on to our next news item. Corruption fight has improved under Mahama. We are talking about corruption and we are saying that the government is not doing what they have to do to make sure that they call all those people who have caused the state money to books. And there's been a survey already that corruption fight has improved under this administration. Well, let's read the details and let's find out. A new nationwide survey conducted by Ghana by KAS Ghana and the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, GIMPA, suggests that many Ghanaians believe the fight against corruption has improved under the current administration. The study, titled Stock Taking of Ghana's Democracy, examined public perception of governance, democratic values, and political leadership in the country. The findings were released on March 11th, marking 1 year of the National Democratic Congress administration under President John Dramani Mahama. According to the survey, the most common response among respondents across different age groups, genders, and education levels was that corruption in Ghana has improved. While this view was not shared by everyone, the result indicates that a significant number of Ghanaians recognize the government's anti-corruption efforts. The survey also evaluated the public's perception of the government's overall performance. Many respondents gave the administration a cautiously positive assessment, with the largest group describing its performance as good or satisfactory. On economic management, 44.5% of respondents rated it as good, while 14.9% described it as excellent, suggesting relative favorable views among respondents. Despite these positive perceptions, the survey highlighted that Ghanaians still place strong importance on integrity in leadership. Respondents ranked a strong commitment to fighting corruption among the most important qualities they expect from presidential candidates, alongside visionary leadership and strong economic management. Ms. Gina, do you genuinely believe that corruption has reduced under this current
I'll
administration?
not let you finish talking. See, compared to the past administration, I would say the only slight difference is the interest in the fight against corruption.
That means that this government is interested.
That is the only slight difference.
Oh, okay.
Say, you share the past administration, that is Nanado Bawumia government. They did not do anything to stop corruption. But under this current administration, they have interest in stopping corruption. So I don't know where they got this survey from. Can they boldly come out and tell us who they have arrested and jailed? The key word is jailed, not arrested, not granted a bail, not just, I don't even know what to say. The only thing they have is interest. That's the only thing. And I don't know if we should rate them. Probably maybe out of 1 to 10, we give them, is it 0.5, 1%, 2%? I don't know which is which. Just the last story we were talking about is about corruption. They've brought us you kind of saying the findings. They've updated us. When it comes to Attorney General, he always updates us. When it comes to the OSP, he always updates us. These two institutions are the key ones that are supposed to fight corruption. The last time during the State of Emergency, State of Nations address, President John Dramani Mahama said that they are still committed to the oral, and Sami Kwachi came out to say that people are peddling news that they've been able to recover some amount of money, but that is not true. But rather they've been able to, I think he said they've frozen an account that has over 1 point something billion Ghana cedis or dollars. I'm not really sure about that. We don't want frozen accounts. What would we use frozen account for? Chairman Woon, to me, his account has been frozen. We don't need that. We need to make sure that he's being brought to book. A lot of people, this is clear evidence that Nipe, this is what the person did. But you are not taking the person on because of evidence. What evidence do you still need again? So when it comes to this current administration, as I said, it's only interest, and interest wouldn't solve the problem. Interest will not settle our debts. Interest will not clear the debt on the table. Interest will not build hospitals, will not provide for the teachers, the doctors, the students learning under trees, communities up to now that do not have electricity. Interest will not solve that. We want action. I don't want to believe, or I don't want to start believing the NPPs. They said that when it comes to the NDC, the only thing they know is slogan and not action.
And not action.
And I don't want to believe that, but it's sounding like it's true. I'm not in support of the NPP, neither am I in support of the NDC. We say the truth as it stands. I'm a youth, and I know the impact of corruption on we the youth. Up to now, about millions of people still do not have jobs to do. They are just sitting at home. And I have one in my house. It's very painful that when you see the kind of stress they go through, because mind you, from nursing school from level 1 to level 400, it's not a joke. The school fees, hostel fees, still I still invested my energy and my time. Up till now, people are still home from 2013, 2017. They are still home up till now, doing nothing. So if you've wasted all this money, and at the end of the day, you are home doing nothing, what does that tell us as a country? A country that is still fighting and battling corruption. Just yesterday, we were talking about the FIFA, or said the FA man that was arrested. On their life imprisonment. And when we go to South Korea, Chinese, and other countries, they take on these people, investigate them, and make sure that they are punished.
Irrespective of whoever
Irrespective
you are.
of who you
are found guilty, they will take you on.
Just was it last month? She was a female. She was once a president of that country. She was investigated, and they find out that now, or yeah, excuse me to say no, didn't say she was arrested and jailed, life imprisonment. I can't say about for the life imprisonment in there life imprisonment. We always say that we want to be like the Western world. I'm not saying that we should adapt or adopt whatever they are doing, but let's look up to them and learn. They are not scared to take on people. When the papa one another in he's the president. I'm not saying they should go arrest him, but he's the president. And as the president, you appointed all these ministers.
Yeah.
So he's the best person to even take on. No investigate, but I don't know how Ghana laws are. As a be the president, now we feel all of a sudden you are untouchable. But it shouldn't be. So this is a fight against corruption. And when we want to fight against corruption, it takes a lot. I always say that you need to take decisions that wouldn't go in favor of you or wouldn't be in favor of other people, but would be in the interest of the country. We are tired. Corruption. We are tired. And this is one thing most people voted for. Corruption.
Operation Recover
All Loot. The sweet talks are too much. Now we want bitter talks. Bitter talks with results. Because when you tend to sugarcoat everything, you see, and that is what they are doing. Means you see, as I'm judging new machine. Okujato, new machine. They are doing well as ministers, but when they were in opposition, what they were promising, we can do the gangalia. Now they are not doing that again. So they should do something. The corruption has not improved. They are lying.
So you think the survey is not
legit? No. Let me ask you today. Let me be the host for these seconds. Are you happy?
I'm not really happy with how they are fighting the issues of corruption.
Has it improved?
Well, I think. Wait, let me be honest.
Okay.
I don't think it has improved to my expectation. Looking at how they were, preaching and then making noise about it whilst they were in opposition, that when they come into power, they are going to make sure that whoever that is found guilty of stealing from the state, they are going to take that person on. And it looks like the dragging of court here and there,
It's too much.
it's too much. What happens to just taking these people? What is actually delaying them from prosecuting these people? That is one question I keep asking myself each and every time.
Are
So
they
for
scared?
me, I'm not really impressed with how they are fighting corruption right here in Ghana and even under this administration. As you mentioned, they've shown the interest that they can look into the issues, but you looking into the issues doesn't sort out the problem. You need to back it with action. We need results to serve as a deterrent to others. But it looks like these politicians, they are friends. You are my friend, I'm your friend. When you come into power, you cover me up. When I also come into power, I'm also going to cover you up.
That
That is
going on.
actually what is going on, and it's so bad. It's not going to help us as a country. We are hoping that in the coming days, or even before the NDC leave power, at least they should prosecute some people.
Let's hope so.
They should prosecute some people.
And jail them, not
And jail
only
them.
prosecution.
At least we need to see that. That is what we want to see, and I believe that is why a lot of people voted for this current administration.
Exactly.
So they shouldn't disappoint the voters, and they shouldn't let them down.
They're already disappointing us.
Oh, disappoints there. Me, I'm very disappointed.
Very.
But there's more room for improvement. You can do better.
One thing I always say, when someone at Circle, a youth who is struggling to get something to eat, goes to sell something, they will say that it's a crime, it's wrong. But when a politician embezzles funds, then they'll tell us financial irregularity. Just like the first story you read, the keyword was financial irregularity.
Financial irregularities.
Afro.
Moving on. Bill to criminalize vote buying, an exercise in futility. Kose Dede. Policy analyst Michael Kose Dede has criticized plans by the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, to introduce a private members' bill aimed at criminalizing vote buying and other illegal practices linked to party primaries and by-elections. Mr. Dede described the proposal as an exercise in futility, arguing that Ghana already has enough laws to deal with such offenses. According to him, the real problem is not the absence of laws, but rather the lack of enforcement and political will to deal with electoral misconduct within political parties. Mr. Kose noted that for more than 30 years under the Fourth Republic, there have been repeated allegations of inducements and vote buying during party primaries, yet little actions has been taken to address the issue. He added that the widely discussed vote buying allegations involving Baba Jamal are only one example of much broader problems that has existed in internal party elections for years. Mr. Dede argued that passing new legislation will not solve the problem unless political parties themselves are prepared to enforce discipline and uphold ethical standards in their internal electoral processes. He questioned how a national law could be effectively enforced when political parties have struggled to address the issue within their own structures. So this is coming from a policy analyst, Mr. Michael Kose Dede, who criticized the plans of Alban Bagbin to introduce a private members' bill aimed at criminalizing vote buying and other illegal practices linked to party primaries and by-elections. So for Mr. Michael Dede, he said that we have laws. It's not like we don't have laws. We have law. So why do you want to introduce a new bill to sort out this problem or to criminalize vote buying and inducement? We already have the laws. The problem we are facing as a country is that we are not enforcing these laws. So enforce these laws rather than you going to introduce a new bill altogether. Why are the laws not working? That is what Mr. Kose is asking. Why are the laws not working? So, Alban Bagby, your plan to introduce a new bill there, rather look for ways to enforce it rather than to introduce a new bill, because the laws are already there. Why do we need a new bill? So this is coming from Mr. Kose Dede. We have beautiful laws as a country.
Very beautiful.
Very beautiful laws. But we cannot enforce them.
Yes.
Right.
So when it comes, as you said, Ghana is known for beautiful laws, but implementation is the problem.
It's a problem.
Even the policies, you can see it for ourselves. That they would bring new policies, interesting and kind of saying juicy policies. So, oh, yes, say we will do this, let's do that, to do that. Then at the end of the day, implementation is the problem. So now, all what we are suffering from as a country is effective implementation. As you said, vote buying is against our laws. Now, we have something called the PNDCL 284, and it is enforced by the Electoral Commission of Ghana. In the Electoral Commission of Ghana, almost so another year. Make me be used to it. BCC, I'm like I say, you ever have a chimney?
Be nice, be nice.
Anna, oh, what word should I use? They are another. The Electoral Commission, they are another group of company. They are not serious. Because tell me why you have this law.
And it's not working.
And it's not working. And bribery of voters, that is vote buying, under the PNDCL, giving money, gifts, food or any reward to influence someone's votes, promise jobs, contracts or favors in exchange for vote. That promise of jobs, if they want to come and take me on, I have a lot of ministers I can mention. A lot of ministers. During this last vote, your friend is saying, vote election was a day.
Yeah.
The kind of ministers that came to our area. And I vote my mama say, it's me down my family, I met my body. My body, papa. Those people, accepting money or gift in return for voting for a particular candidate or party. So you see, it's not only about the ministers, but we the individuals also. So when SNM wants to be president and she comes and gives me money, she's at fault, I'm at fault. If she arrested, they have to arrest me also, because under the law, giving and receiving is a crime. And to me baby, now bring me 10,000, so mommy in the magic and the munching me. Did you have the story where one young guy received the wrong transaction of about millions of cedis, and they gave him two options: either refund the money or you'll be arrested. He said that the munchime, and he was arrested. I think he was given 10 years. I said 10 years. The mekwaba na scanner wo try me. I'm suffering.
Why is he going to keep that money in the bank or
in the bank now? And also, when we look at the penalties under such laws, fines, imprisonment, disqualification from contesting elections. These are the three major fines. Fines, imprisonment, and disqualification. This law was set to deter other people from engaging in such acts. It looks like everyone is using Baba Jamal's case as an example. He's not the only one. As on no penal, no, excuse me to say anymore. And a better thing. A lot of people, the MPPs, the NDCs, they are doing it. During MPP primaries, we heard people saying, oh, I've received from the camp of Kennedy, I've received from the camp of Baumia, I've received from the camp of Bani Champon, I cut your marker, and Tinipa Bakono, what Jessica, if you all these contestants, now who are you going to vote for? Because the vote is only once. So who are you voting for? But you've received money from all these people. So it's a crime, and they need to criminalize it. The laws are already there, but it's not working. Now, to the main reason why we will take the money. We will take it because our politicians, excuse me to say, they are thieves. Those go up there and be stealing our money. They are not bringing any improvement into our country. So at the end of the day, we the youth, we are suffering. Me, since I'm God forbid, if I'm sick and they tell me that I should bring 20,000, I will not get it. But a politician will get that money in a twinkle of an eye. People in dialysis hall, the main reason I'll be home no more for us, they don't have the money. But if a politician has that money, you don't even know that this is the condition they are suffering from. So that's the main reason we take the money. If they go up then they change, we will not take the money. But if they don't change, we will continue taking it. And I just want to youths need a free her a call in sa womb. And yes, I bet you.
Miss Debbie.
So the law exists, but the political actors are just unwilling to enforce it. So there is no sense in you saying that you want to enforce a new law where you know that there are already laws that needs to be enforced, and then when you enforce it, it will work. Because tell me why a politician who knows very well that you are doing your best, you know you've won the trust of the people, why don't you go buying the votes of the people? It means you are incompetent enough, because every competent leader will not have to give you something before you vote for him, will not have to buy your vote. But because he knows that he is not doing the right thing, so you will need to buy your votes, else he's not going to occupy that position. And as she said, this is something that has been in existence for so long, but Baba Jama only cap na ayema. The cap money doesn't mean that other politicians does not do it. They do it. They do things like that. Me, I've taken money before and I've said it here. I didn't vote for the person, but I took their money. Because see, the truth is that let no politician deceive you. Guys, no politician have you attacked. I'm telling you the truth. They don't. It's because of the power. That is why they mellow themselves just to get what they want. And immediately they get what they want, their arrogance rises. Because they know that they've gotten to a place where you are not even closer to their class. And so whatever they will do is what they will do. A leader who have you attacked will not do things that will favor him, but will do things that will favor his followers. Because he knows that the work he's doing, he's not doing it alone. Together with his followers, they are able to materialize his vision. But in this case, if you look at our leaders, they don't care about us. The only time they care about us is when there is election. And that is when any time is due for election, you see them moving from house to houses, washing for people, sweeping for people, giving people money, buying things for people. But when they were the member of parliament, even when you go to their office and their vehicle are parked at the compound, they'll tell you that he's not around. So this should tell you that it's a very serious issue that needs to be dealt with. But see, it can never be dealt with if the same people who are committing the same crime they are not willing to let it go. And it will be difficult because as it stands now, the citizens have also imbibed that kind of knowledge, that kind of idea that you have to give me something to vote for you. So it will be difficult to fight this. It has to be a collective something. The politician will do their side. We, the citizens, will also have to do our side. If not, then we are just deceiving ourselves. And the laws, it needs to work.
It needs to work. Our laws needs to be enforced. So, anyways, question for the gods. Thank you so much for joining us on the news headline review. Up next, we have Today in History with Miss Regina Bless.
Bringing you Today in History on this day, 2011, a magnitude 9.0 quake struck off Japan's northeastern coast. This triggered tsunami that swept across the region. Some were more than 10 meters high. The disaster knocked out power at Tokyo Electric Power Company's Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. Moving on, the World Health Organization declared that the COVID-19 outbreak was a pandemic on this day. Next, Madrid suffered a series of terrorist attacks on this day, 2004, when 10 bombs exploded on 4 commuter trains, killing 193 people and injuring around 2,500, carried out by Islamist militants opposing Spain's involvement in the Iraq War. It was the deadliest terror attack in Spanish history. Moving to some global observances. First on the list is Debunking Day. It is dedicated to challenging myth, misinformation, and false beliefs to promote truth and clarity. Created by Arthur and Astrology Rob, this day encourages critical thinking, verification of information, and the correction of commonly held misconceptions. Yes, so an example is Ama Ghana. Ghana is not Ama, Ghana is Ikia. So this is a misinformation, and this is the best day to debunk that. Moving on, National Immune System Day. It is a day dedicated to raising awareness about the importance of the immune system and promoting practices that enhance immune health. Lastly, World Plumbing Day. It is an international event recognizing the vital role plumbing plays in global health, sanitation, and sustainability, initiated by the World Plumbing Council in 2010. This day highlights how proper plumbing systems connect communities to clean water and prevent diseases. And that's all for today on Today in History and some global observances live on GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much, Miss Regina, for Today in History and some observances of the day. Up next, we have Debbie's Grill.
Welcome to Debbie's Grill, where we talk about issues that matter to the state, void of politics, fear of favor, details of an audit report on arrears owned by the previous government led by former President Nana Addo Dankwa have revealed shocking financial misappropriation and what looked like an attempt to steal millions of state funds. The audit report, which was produced by the Ghana Audit Service, showed that millions of state funds were nearly stolen through the creation of fake debt under the One District, One Factory initiative. Details of the report, which was shared by the Minister of Finance in Parliament, showed that over 89 million was scheduled to be paid as interest on loans to 5 banks in 2024. However, the banks that the monies were supposed to have been paid to all said the government did not owe any money. The then Ministry of Trade and Industry in 2024 submitted a request of 89.4 million to the Ministry of Finance to be transferred to 5 commercial banks as government contribution to interest payments under the One District, One Factory initiative. The Ministry of Finance subsequently processed the same to the Controller Accountant General. This request was part of the BTA sitting at the Controller and Accountant General's Department, awaiting cash for payment, when auditors contacted these 5 banks to confirm their liability. Every single one of them denied being owed any amount by government under the said arrangement. According to the auditors, 89.4 million debt was fictitious. Without the audit intervention, a whopping 89.4 million of hard-earned public money could have been disbursed to settle this non-existent liability, he said. The minister also disclosed that a payment of 10.5 million recorded in the books of the initiative to have been made to a commercial bank, but checks at the bank showed that no such payment was being made. So this is from the Auditor General. 89 million debt. Jesus Christ. This is not something we should close our eyes on. 89 million. One district, one factory. So then what happened? So it means we could have paid this money to banks that the government does not even owe. And so where will this money go to? Which clearly tells me that the money will be diverted into personal pocket or private account. Why are we so wicked? Why? Why are we so selfish and greedy? If you've been fortunate enough to occupy a position, I'm sure you are there for a reason. Everyone at all can occupy that position. But so long as you are there for a reason. And that reason is to work in favor of the people and not for your own selfish interest. So the country would have used the taxpayers' money to pay a debt that does not exist, to pay banks which the government never took a loan from. And also it has been allocated at 10 million has been disbursed into one district, one factory. Where is the factory and where is that money? The factory is nowhere to be found. They should clearly tell you that politicians do not have you at heart. They are wicked. They are full of, some of them are witches. They are wizards. Because tell me why you will use a bank, the name of a bank, lie to the state that you've taken loan from the bank to finance one district, one factory, which you and I know that if those factories were to be built, it would have helped us as a country. Loan na mwanje. So what is the essence of you going to pay 89 million? Oh, MPP, more dear bro, seriously, more dear bro, papa. More dear bro. And see, they will end up telling us that it's Russian-Ukraine war. If someone tells me that there is no money in Ghana, I'll tell you you're a bloody liar. There is money here. Ghana, we are rich. But the money is in the possession of some greedy pot-belly politicians. And then the citizens are suffering for nothing. We are paying taxes every day. We are paying taxes. And we are not seeing the benefits of the taxes we are paying. But we are still paying taxes. And after paying those taxes, you use the money for your own selfish gain. And then you come back deceiving us, lying to us, telling us things that do not exist. The one district, one factory. Does it mean that you brought the one district, one factory only to deceive Ghanaians, or you are using that as, shall I say, camouflage, and then behind it you are doing something else? We could. And guys, can you bet you 89 million because they'll give you reasons. Now, those banks, they need to be investigated. I didn't try to say that they were not aware when they used their name. When they pinned their name on documents that they've taken loan from them. And so they will need to pay them 89 million. They were not aware. Or it is because there is a change of government. And so if they don't act fast, is that the main reason? Now sometimes I wonder how God created. I wouldn't blame God, but I wonder how some leaders reason sometimes. Like, I can't just phantom how you just wake up one day and then the money that is being given to you to run a nation for development, for the people, and then you want to use it for your own selfish gain. So imagine we paid that 89 million. What would they have used that money for? Travel outside? Open new companies? You see, That is why politicians will continue to be rich. And then the ordinary citizens will remain ordinary. You know why? Because they've created that gap. There is a wide gap between politicians, some so-called politicians, and then the ordinary Ghanaian. And sometimes I wish we don't even have a leader. Like, we should just run the country just like that. So that we know that when things are in a mess, we can attest to the fact that we don't have a leader. So we are managing things by our own doing. And so whether it goes on well or not, we will blame ourselves. But tell me why we have a leader. A whole president did not even realize this. Former finance minister Ken Oforiatta did not realize this. And they're trying to tell us that the New Patriotic Party members themselves did not realize this. Is that what they're trying to tell us? And I'm not surprised because see, we wouldn't even have got to know this if they are still in power. We will not get to know this if they are still in power. Jesus Christ. No. See, certain things are not to be taken for joke. 89 million. This is huge. We could have paid this money, taxpayer. Only God knows what they use those money for the past 8 years. The monies that they've been telling others has been disbursed to this, to that. It is only God that knows what those monies have been used for. And that is the same reason why they were not even able to account to us. I remember when the former president was leaving office in parliament, he could not even account to us what they used the monies for. The money they disbursed into projects, national state projects, what they use it for, they could not even account to us. If we want to go into this, the president needs to be jailed. In fact, all the MPP members need to be jailed. That is if they are all found guilty. And it is only in Ghana. You see the same thing that we are talking about, that we have the laws and the laws are not working. What is my pain right now is where no one will be held responsible. No one will be questioned. You are not coming to account for it. And so we take it so normal. Everyone wants to hold office. Everybody wants to be a politician. Why? Because I want to scan share. I want to meet maybe I think that shoot to kill approach, it should cut across. As a politician, you should simple. You cannot use our hard-earned sweat taxes for your own selfish gain. While students are still struggling, not getting a place to stay, a classroom, a well-furnished classroom to study. They are sitting under trees and you are happy. Patients goes to the hospital and they don't even get bed to sleep on, bed for treatment. One day, the Creator who created all of us will question you. Thank you for making time to be on Debbie's.
Thank you so much, Ms. Debbie. It's time for the news.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
Hello, good morning and welcome to the morning news update on Ghana Talks Radio. Coming up, Minister of Interior assures unsuccessful applicants of future security recruitment opportunities. Also coming up, Minority Leader calls for scrapping artificial intelligence attitude test in the security recruitment. Minority Leader also accuses majority of stifling the New Patriotic Party's voice in Parliament. Transport Minister vows of license revocation at private jet terminal. Ranking member on Parliament's Foreign Affairs Committee seeks clarification on Ghana's role in United States-Nigerian air strikes. These and many more coming up shortly in business, sports and showbiz. The Interior Minister Muntaka Mumbarak has announced that the data of qualified applicants who could not make the cut in this year's recruitment exercise will be kept for consideration in the 2027 recruitment exercise. This move aimed to provide opportunities for aspiring recruits who were unsuccessful. He urged applicants to exercise patience and restrain, noting government's commitment to employ more youth. The recruitment process has faced challenges with complaints about the artificial intelligence-based aptitude test result. In response, the Minister of Interior promised to address these concerns.
The President instructed that, look, those who qualify and pass medicals, let's keep the data. This is the first phase. We are hoping that maybe later in the, because remember this current recruitment that we are doing is a 2025 recruitment. Hopefully when we are out on the IML, we could do the 2026. So we'll pick from that same data. Hopefully, if maybe it's past 6 months, then you can only ask them to repeat medicals, but not to start opening the process all over again.
In related news, Minority Leader Alexander Penyumakin has urged government to abolish artificial intelligence-based aptitude tests in the ongoing security service recruitment. According to him, AI-powered system disadvantaged candidates from rural areas with limited digital skills and access to technology. He suggests reverting to manual aptitude tests to ensure fairness and accessibility for all qualified applicants.
Mr. Speaker, the military did something good. They created a system where people entered to write the aptitude test direct. Mr. Speaker, if it is possible, the system should be changed to enable our boys and girls who are even not educated on ICT to write it manually, so that a proper system is put in place which will allow them to go into the AI space. I am for AI. I am for IT. But you cannot suddenly call somebody from Kungugu who doesn't know anything about IT and wants to join the force work, and you are told that go and write aptitude test via AI, and if you don't have any means, you fail. So, Speaker, this is not political, and I don't want it to be misconstrued. I think it's a serious system challenge that the ministry would have to look at properly, because it is us, the MPs, who are carrying the burden. And I speak for the entire house. I speak for the entire house. People go to the cafe and then they get on the computer and they go through all manner of challenges. Mr. Speaker, I would plead that the whole system be reviewed. Our boys, our girls, they come to us MPs, take money to go on the internet.
The Minister of Transport, Joseph Bukari Nikpi, has issued a stern warning to individuals and groups operating at the private jet terminal. He stressed on revoking their licenses on failure to renew it. This move aims to ensure compliance with regulatory requirements to maintain standards at the terminal. His caution came amidst efforts to professionalize and regulate the aviation sector.
If you are operating with Ghana Airport Company, for that matter government, you have a license to do that. The question is to ask yourself, have you renewed your license for the past 4 years? If you haven't done so, it is not anybody's making. Have you paid the relevant taxes or fees that you are supposed to pay to government for the past 1.5 years? If you haven't done that, that should not be anybody's problem, because you just need to refer to your contract and see that the contract detects certain things to be done. And if they are not done, as a government and the Ghana Airport Company, we hold the right to either continue or revoke whatever contract we have with you when you have defaulted. And so I wouldn't want to go into much details, but what I know is that we had a license for him to operate a private jet. It is over 4 years that that license is not renewed, and I'm not sure you will work with any company or any group that has not renewed their license.
The minority in Parliament has alleged of a deliberate scheme in Parliament to suppress the voice of the New Patriotic Party. The minority leader stressed that despite a motion filed by his side to investigate the dismissal of persons employed under the previous New Patriotic Party administration, it has not been fully debated in Parliament.
There was a letter from the Chief of Staff directing that recruitment that took place after the election should be terminated. However, state agencies decided to go back to 2017-18. People who have been in the employ of state-owned institutions, not just the civil service, since 2018 were sacked. Attempt to bring this matter to the public space remains frustrated. The first was a preliminary objection by the majority leader, and when we filed an appeal, though the appeal motion was allowed, but the debate is still in abeyance. The motion was moved, seconded, and one contributor was taken. It's been 8 months. It always appears on the other paper. We are unable to take it. Why? A motion was filed in good faith, in accordance with the rules, in respect of Bank of Ghana and the Gold Board. Since December, same was admitted and advertised on the other paper. We have been in session since we have resumed. This is our 6th week or so. Government businesses have found space, but the single business of the minority is yet to be taken. Though the will of the majority is in all cases to prevail, that will must be reasonable, that the minority possess their equal rights, which equal law must protect. A supermajority does not equate to infallibility. A commanding numerical advantage in the House must be exercised with humility, restraint, and profound sense of national responsibility. Whilst numerical strength may enable bold reforms, it must also create space for broader consensus so that the laws we pass enjoy durability, legitimacy, and public confidence. And by the way, the majority should be reminded that in 2017, we, in the today's minority, were 169.
The minority is also calling for an immediate briefing on the country's alleged collaboration with the United States in a strike against terrorist targets in Nigeria. This was after ranking member on Parliament's Foreign Affairs Committee, Samuel Abu Jinapor, expressed concern over the lack of transparency and potential national security implications. He questioned the legal grounds for Ghana's involvement, citing Article 75 of the Constitution, which requires parliamentary approval for international agreement.
There are very important questions to be asked. Firstly, what is the framework within which the Ghanaian government collaborated with the United States of America? We are reliably informed and we are reliably guided by the former Minister of Defense, who is on my right-hand side here, that at no stage in the 8 years of the Akufo-Addo administration did the government of Ghana get into any agreement with the United States to have Ghana be used as a base for launching military attacks in other foreign countries. So at what stage and through what legal mechanism or framework did our government collaborate and agree with the government of the United States of America to unleash a military action and airstrikes against a terrorist organization in a foreign country, Nigeria? That is the first question. The second question, if the government of Ghana entered into any such agreement with the government of the United States of America, the dictates and tenets of our national constitution are express and clear that such agreements must necessarily elicit parliamentary approval. And so if there was any such agreement, why has the government as yet not tabled that agreement before the Parliament of Ghana for ratification or otherwise? Thirdly, what are the national security implications for our country with this kind of collaboration? Does Ghana become a target of ISIS? Does Ghana become a target for other terrorist organizations? What measures have been put in place in Ghana to ensure that our citizens are protected and our national security is safeguarded? And so what measures has the government put in place in the light of this extraordinary disclosure by the foreign minister, a very high-ranking official of the government and a member of the National Security Council of the government, that our government, on the blind side of all of Ghana, the media, civil society, parliament, and other stakeholders in our country, collaborated and cooperated with the United States in December last year, some 3 clear months ago, to authorize a military action from Ghanaian soil into a foreign country against a terrorist organization. What measures have we put in place to protect Ghanaians? These are the 3 fundamental questions we ask. And we conclude by making this strong and firm demand that the Minister for Foreign Affairs should appear before Parliament immediately to brief Parliament the circumstances under which the Mahama administration collaborated with the United States to perpetuate this military action in Nigeria, and what framework, legal framework, was it that they took this action, and table it before Parliament for the consideration of Parliament. And finally, to give the Ghanaian people the needed assurance that Ghana is not being unnecessarily exposed to terrorist organizations.
In business, former director of the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research, Professor Peter Korte, is pressing government to consider slashing taxes on petroleum products if global oil prices surge as a result of escalating tensions in the Middle East. He argued that such a measure would help shield vulnerable households from the impact of rising fuel prices. Professor Korte made the call in an interview on the sideline of a public lecture held to commemorate the 70th anniversary celebration of Wesley Grammar. Peter Korte also emphasized the need for the country to build buffers to better absorb external shocks, particularly in the energy market, where global price volatility can quickly translate into domestic economic pressures. His comment comes amid growing concern over the impacts of geopolitical tensions in the Middle East on global crude oil supply and prices. Already, projection from industry analysts suggest that fuel prices will go up in the second pricing window of March. To sports, Herbalife Ghana has announced a new nutrition partnership with Major League Soccer side La Galaxy and Ghana International Joseph Pensilk Academy, aimed at strengthening youth development through sports and proper nutrition. Under the agreement, Herbalife Ghana will serve as the official nutrition partner of JP Academy and its affiliated club teams, providing structured nutrition education and products to support the development of young footballers. The partnership was unveiled at a press briefing held at Herbalife Ghana's office at Airport Square in Accra. The initiative forms part of the Global Nutrition and Wellness Company's broader commitment to investing in long-term community empowerment projects, particularly those focused on youth participation in sports. Speaking at the launch, Clarence Amenya, Senior Manager, Country Sales for Herbalife Ghana, expressed excitement about the collaboration. John Peso, who attended the event, also welcomed the partnership and highlighted its potential to positively impact young athletes in the country. The initiative builds on his existing relationship with Herbalife through La Galaxy, where the company serves as the club's exclusive nutrition partner. By extending the collaboration, both parties hope to strengthen athlete development at the grassroots level while equipping young players with the knowledge and resources needed to maintain proper nutrition and healthy lifestyles. Herbalife Ghana has operated in the country since 2011 through a network of independent distributors. Globally, the company operates in more than 90 countries and offers a range of products including weight management, targeted nutrition, sports nutrition, and outdoor nutrition. Central to the partnership is JP Academy, Pencils Football Academy, which will serve as the primary platform for implementing the program in Ghana. The academy also focuses on nurturing young football talent while promoting discipline, teamwork, and character development. Through the partnership, academy players will receive structured nutrition education covering key areas such as fueling, hydration, and recovery to support athletic performance. Herbalife Ghana will work closely with the academy's coaching staff to design and implement a comprehensive team-wide nutrition program. As part of the launch activities, Herbalife Ghana and Joseph Pencil visited Potter's Village in Dodwa, a partner organization of the Herbalife Family Foundation. During the visit, the team presented nutrition products and essential supply to support the facility. The donation underscored the partnership's broader goal of addressing social challenges and supporting vulnerable communities. The collaboration is designed to deliver impact across several areas, including improved nutrition standards for young athletes, education on healthy living, and structured opportunities for personal development. It is also aimed to strengthen community ties by using sports as a tool for empowerment and social development. Addressing young footballers and volunteers at the event, John Pencil encouraged them to pursue their dreams with dedication. He emphasized that with the right guidance, nutrition, and values, young Ghanaian athletes can aspire to achieve international success. The partnership reflects a growing trend of international athletes using their platforms to drive meaningful development initiatives in their home countries. In showbiz, dancehall artist Shatawale has revealed he has not personally benefited financially from his ride-hailing platform Shagzy since its launch, insisting that all revenue generated by the service is being recycled within the company to support its growth. Speaking during the interview, the musician discussed the operation of the Shagzy initiative and appealed to government to support the platform as a national project. Shagzy, which was launched as a digital ride-hailing service aimed at creating employment for Ghanaian youth, operates through a mobile application that connects passengers with drivers across Ghana. During the interview, Shetawale disclosed that the management of the platform's technical operation is handled remotely by a member of his team based in the United States. He further stated that since the introduction of the platform, 20 Ghana cedi subscription system, he has not withdrawn any personal profit from the proceeds generated. According to him, this decision was deliberate as he wants the financial growth of the platform to be transparent and visible. The musician explained that his aim is to build the platform into a sustainable business capable of contributing meaningfully to the country's digital economy. He noted that he would like to eventually present the platform financial performance to the government to demonstrate its potential. His comment comes amid public conversation about taxation and compliance involving business run by public figures. Addressing the issue, Shetawale said he would be prepared to engage with the Ghana Revenue Authority to clarify the financial structure of the platform if necessary. He, however, emphasized that the venture should not be seen as a personal enterprise, stressing it involves multiple stakeholders and aims to provide economic opportunities for many drivers. On global update, lawmakers in Senegal endorsed a new bill doubling the maximum prison term for same-sex sexual act and criminalizing effort to promote homosexuality. The vote, with 135 in favor, 0 against and 3 abstaining, is a final step in adopting the legislation, which was a campaign promise of the government that came to power in 2024, led by the president and the prime minister. Senegal's penal code already contained an article that last amended in 1996, imposing prison terms of up to 5 years and fine of 1,500 CFA francs for act against nature. Postponement of the bill said the article was too vague and not tough enough. The new version says act against nature can't be punished with prison term of up to 10 years and fines up to 10 million CFA francs. It says a judge may not grant a suspended sentence or reduce a prison term below the minimum. It specifies that act against nature relating to homosexuality, bisexuality and transsexuality as a necrophile. Those found guilty of promoting and financing such acts face prison term. In the weeks leading up to Wednesday's vote, supporters of the law, including lawmakers from the ruling party, organized multiple demonstrations in which participants shouted "No homosexuality" and held signs with rainbows crossed out. The period has also been marked by a surge in arrest of men on suspicion of acts against nature. Some 27 men were arrested between February 9th and February 24th, according to the International Federation for Human Rights. The Senegalese law is part of a wave of anti-LGBTQ legislation in the region. Last year, Burkina Faso passed a law criminalizing same-sex sexual relation for the first time, imposing prison term of up to 5 years. Lawmakers in Ghana are considering a new bill that will increase the maximum penalty for same-sex sexual acts from 3 to 5 years and impose jail term for the willful promotion, sponsorship and support of LGBTQ plus activities. And that's a wrap on the morning news update. Do want to log on to all streaming platforms as well as log in onto our website at www.GhanaTalksRadio.com for more news stories. My name is Deborah Adoso. Thank you for sticking tuned to your radio. Good morning.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
Good morning to you once again, and you are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show right here on Ghana Talks Radio. Yeah, this is supposed to be the second segment of the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, but we will be looking at a few news headlines, news stories, then we zoom into the second segment of the show with our guests. And I'll be doing this with Miss Regina Bless and Miss Debbie Adoso. Good morning to you ladies once again. You are welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Right, we'll be looking at a few news items before we dive into the second segment of the show. Right, so this is from Imani Africa. So Imani launches campaign to track wealth of public officials. Policy think tank Imani Center for Policy and Education has launched a new transparency campaign aimed at tracking the wealth of public officials in Ghana using the Right to Information RTI Act. Announcing the initiative, Imani President Franklin Kucho said the campaign seeks to challenge the long-standing practice where asset declarations by public officials are submitted in sealed envelopes to the Auditor General, making them largely inaccessible to the public. According to him, this practice has existed for about 30 years, making the asset declaration system less effective in promoting transparency and accountability. Under Article 286 of Ghana's 1992 Constitution, public officials are required to declare their assets when they assume office every 4 years and when they leave office. However, these declarations have traditionally remained confidential. Imani argues that neither the Constitution nor the Right to Information Act 2019 at 989 clearly requires asset declaration to be kept secret, and therefore believes the public should have access to that information. As part of the campaign, Imani plans to file right to information requests to obtain the asset declarations of Cecilia Abna Dapa, former Minister of Sanitation and Water Resources, and Mohamed Baba Jamal Ahmed, a Member of Parliament and former Deputy Minister. The organization says these cases will serve as test cases to determine whether the practice of keeping asset declaration in sealed envelopes is lawful. Imani explained that the process will begin with RTI requests to the Attorney General, followed by internal reviews and possible appeals to the RTI Commission. If necessary, the organization may pursue judicial review or a constitutional challenge in court. The campaign is aimed at promoting greater transparency and accountability in public office. I think we have discussed it here that the law that allows ministers and public officials to declare their assets is actually flawed, where they submit a sealed envelopes to the Auditor General, and the Auditor General do not get to verify or fact check if whether what they've declared is true or not. So Imani says that they are going to embark on a campaign to make sure that when a public officer or a minister is appointed, when you declare your assets, that sealed envelope will not be sealed, but you'll be opening this time around to fact check if indeed whatever you've put in that document is false or true. Ms. Debbie, your thoughts on this, please?
Yeah, I think that should be the right way instead, because I don't know why you declare your asset and then it has to be private. I feel like it should be known. They should know what is kept in that brown envelope, so that in case of incasity, you won't find yourself wanting. I'm saying this because if they get to know what is entailed in that file, and then imagine you come to power, or your government comes to power for 4 years, and then they know that, oh, well, you have 2 houses, even before you were being appointed as a minister. You have 2 houses, you have a company, say maybe in East Legon, one. Then after 4 years, they realize that you have like 20 companies, and this company is not only in Accra. You have in every region you have one company, and then you build houses in all the 16 regions in Ghana. I mean, this should raise suspicion. But imagine it is being known. Everyone knows that you have 2 houses. You have only one company at East Legon. And so if issues like this popped out, it's very difficult to, show your name. But in a case where it's not being known, then what is the essence? Then it's good we don't even declare the asset. Because when you declare the asset and we don't know, yes, we've seen that you presented a brown envelope, but we don't know what that brown envelope entails. Then what is the essence? I feel like even the declaration of assets should be made public.
You think it should be made
it should be made public.
You think it should be made public for
even the citizens?
The citizens to also have a look into people's.
Yes, why not? See, no one will go after you. No one will kill you for your property. The more reason why we are doing this is to promote accountability and transparency. That's all. For accountability's sake. If not, I'm not sure they will let this members of parliament or maybe the appointees declare their assets. But because of accountability and to prevent corruption, because tell me, let's be sincere to ourselves. We've seen people whose government comes into power, and in the space of 4 years, the kind of money they've amassed for themselves is huge. Here lies the case: the country is running at debt. The taxes they are taking from us, we are not seeing it. We, the citizens, are not feeling the impact. But the so-called politicians are making it. They are buying the vehicles. What's the system? No more, but they don't feel it. Why are they not feeling it? They are not feeling it because they are stealing the money. They are embezzling the money. So imagine it's made public. Everyone knows that this is what you have. Let's not put that kind of idea in our head that your confidentiality, someone will come and no one will kill you for your property. No one will kill you for your property. I see that as just an excuse. It should be made public. See, take a look at serious countries. Countries that are very serious with fighting corruption, that are very serious of holding their appointees accountable. They don't mind doing this. So what is preventing us? Why do we always give an excuse to something positive that is going to help us? So for me, it should be made public. Brown envelope is not needed. And as I said, no one will come after you for your properties.
For your property. Right. Ms. Regina, do you think that making it public or making the public access asset declaration by our ministers and public officials improve accountability in our governance?
So first off, I would say declaring their assets wouldn't necessarily, should I say, call for accountability, because they can still declare their assets publicly and still, should I say, loot from the government or loot from the country and put it in another person's name, especially when it comes to family members. Now, I say, so many things, I'm not
trying to interject, but you remember Sir John?
About the land.
Who nearly sold forest.
Achimota
forest. He gave some of the property, he wrote it in the name of his sons, his daughters.
He was still caught.
Yeah. So declaring their assets or making sure that we track their properties publicly, I think is a good thing to do, because as at now we can't trust these people again. And one of the disadvantages of declaring their assets is at the end of the day, it's not even being verified or being reviewed. Say, oh, this is what the person brought, this is what the person has. And I think Auditor General has no right to even open it to check unless there's an issue pertaining fraud or corruption. Then the court gives a go ahead, then they open it, which is wrong. So why did you want a declaration of assets? So they should make it public for everyone, so that at the end of the day we know what is really going on.
So that at the end of the day we know what is going on. If a minister acquires a property, even before I even read that even before ministers or government appointee leave office, you have to declare your asset again. So, but how do you check if you don't open the envelope to find out what the person has declared, and you expect the person to declare again when the person is leaving office? So how would you fact check to find out if the person acquired this particular property during their term in office? I mean, this law is super flawed, and I don't think that is really going to help us as a country to improve accountability and transparency.
I don't think these people, they are hiding something from us.
Which people?
I mean, the whole thing regarding
asset declaration.
Because
I can equally submit an empty envelope, maybe just A4 sheet, I'll put it inside, because I know you are not going to open it.
I said that because you made mention that even before they leave office, they will have
you
to
are supposed to declare your assets.
So it means that when you declare your asset, they will now have to compare. When you will be appointed, you declared your asset, and this was what you said you own. And then after that, you declare your asset to confirm that as you are leaving, that is the same thing you've acquired. You have, like, they've not been an addition, right? So if they're telling us that even the Auditor General do not have that go ahead to view whatever is being stated, then how do they compare it?
Exactly. That's also another question.
Or is there something that we are supposed to know that we don't know?
Because the law does not even allow the Auditor General to open that envelope to fact check if what they have declared is true or false, or to even verify. The law doesn't allow that. So I think I'm in support of the initiative Imani is bringing on board to make sure that they look into that, because that law has been in existence for how long now? They mentioned 30 years. It's been a while. I think it needs to be reviewed, and I don't know if the Constitution Review Committee also made mention of this for them to make sure they review this particular law that has to do with asset declaration.
Oh yeah, they will have to review, because with all what we are saying, if the laws are not being reviewed, we are just pouring water on stones. it wouldn't work unless the laws are reviewed. And then the law states that when you declare your assets, the public needs to know what is being stated. The Auditor General will have to go through. Then that is when it will become effective. But even if we sit here and we say this and the laws are not being reviewed, it's just a waste of time.
It's like pouring water on stone.
Yeah.
And we are still
There
not
will
going
be
to
no
see results for
nothing.
that. Poor public sector pay fuels corruption, Kufuor. Former President John Ejekum Kufuor has stated that low salaries in Ghana's public sector are one of the major factors contributing to corruption. Speaking in an interview with Joy News, the former president said when public servants are poorly paid, it can create conditions that make corruption more likely within institutions. According to him, the issue of poor salary in public institutions is often avoided in national discussions, yet it remains an important factor that must be addressed as part of broader governance reforms. Mr. Kufuor also pointed out that the modern era of science and technology has made corruption more sophisticated. He explained that while technological advancement has improved society, some individuals misuse their intelligence and technical knowledge for personal gain rather than for the benefit of the public. He warned that corruption will continue to evolve unless government strengthens systems that detect and prevent and punish corrupt practices. The former president stressed that people who are clever or technologically skilled may try to exploit weaknesses in systems if proper safeguards are not put in place. Mr. Kufuor therefore urged policymakers to improve public sector pay and strengthen institutional oversight to reduce corruption and also promote accountability. Do you think that low pay in the public sector actually encourages corruption right here in our country? Miss Regina.
Yeah, so I would say it's true. It's just like when you go to the banking sector or any company that has an accountant or a financial secretary there, they make sure that they pay these people very well, and at the end of the day they don't steal, or should I say loot, from the company. When we look at the public sector, most of these people are not being paid well, and especially month, yes, most of these people are not being paid. But in some aspects of the private sector, the public sector, most of them are receiving good salaries, and they are receiving allowances upon allowances. Let's use Parliament for example. See the amount of money they receive,
but they are still looting.
They are still looting, and at the end of the day, they are still receiving full allowances, sitting allowances, and what have you. But that is your job. It's your job for you to go there, sit on your, excuse me to say, your buttocks and work for the people there. So the public sector there, they need to pay them very well because it's a government institution and they are working for the government, they are working for the people. So they need to make sure that they settle them very well. Just imagine someone who is hungry and day in and day out, he or she is counting fresh notes each and every day. Like, are you tempting the person? We will steal it. We will steal it and use it to eat. Because you need to maintain a home or comment there and they be a kind ska. So it's true. I do agree with them. So they should increase it.
They should increase it.
And also advocate for the private sectors also.
Miss Debbie, do you think that the government should make it a priority to be increasing salaries of those working in the public sector?
Of course. Why
because
not?
how often do we even hear that they've increased
seriously.
And day in, day out, prices of goods and services are increases, and standard of living is also going high.
That is why the cost of living in Ghana is very, very expensive. I don't know whether you have foreigners. You have friends who are foreigners that lives in Ghana. I have a couple of foreigners as friends who lives in Ghana. They can tell you that Your country is very, very expensive. Living in Ghana is very, very expensive. Expensive to the extent that what you make a month does not even carry you throughout the month. Sometimes the first week of the month, but you need to survive, you need to eat, you need to clothe yourself, you need to fend for yourself. And all this thing comes with money. But what you take home is just a peanut. And the people who rule you keep increasing their salary. And you do not have an increase. But all the time, you go to buy plantain, today is 50 cedis, the next day is 100 cedis. You go to buy this, is at this price, the next times 2 has been added to it. But what you take is what you take, no increment. And it's like, so public servants in Ghana here, or public workers, they are static. They are static in whatever they do. See, let me tell you something. Passion will not feed you. Passion will not clothe you. You have the passion, but you need to eat to energize yourself to bring out that passion in you. But if you don't eat to your satisfaction, how do you perform? So let's just take for normal, like for example, when you don't eat, how do you feel? You feel so restless. Your day is kind of clumsy and messy. But immediately you eat, you get this kind of bold energy. So it should tell you that food is necessary. How do you eat if you're not being paid well? How do you eat if the money you take is being used to sort out debt? And after sorting out the debt, all that you're left with is 0.000. How do you feed on that? And so what the former president is saying is true. So that is why, see, this ghost name we are seeing and all that, sometimes it's not really intentional, because you go to offices and then people are doing it all. They are doing it because Oliver Twist will always ask for more. 3,000 is too small. 4,000 is too small. So any means, ways and means that they will have to pass, even if it has to do with you walking through thorns or walking through fire to get that money, they will get it. And so this corruption we are talking about is from the root to the apex of the tree. That is where it's coming from. A child that is born today cries even corrupt. Everyone wants to steal, everyone wants to loot, everyone wants to embezzle state fund because of what? Sikana and so.
But why does everyone want to loot? Is it that we think that those up there are taking?
It's not. Well, what are you saying? No, I won't buy into that when you tell me that we think that what? What are we thinking? It is what they are doing out there is what we are seeing. So let me not even go far with what the newspaper review we did this morning. We see the money that was embezzled. Didn't you mention it yourself here? Was it ghost? Was it insect? Was it not humans? And who are those humans? Are they not politicians? Who are those politicians? Are they not our leaders? Are they not the same people that we gave them the mandate and the power to rule us? So you don't tell me that this one is not an assumption. We don't assume. It is what they are doing. That is what they are doing. So tell me why. Why would you be working? You can work your whole lifetime, and then when you're going to sleep, you eat. Like, you eat, let me put it, rubbish. You eat rubbish. Sometimes, not because that is what you want to eat, but the system. Why do you think all the youth want to travel outside? Why do you think everyone of late want to get paper and travel? Even now that there is chaos in US, people are still, people are serious making papers to travel. They don't even care. Let me go there and go and die than die in Ghana here. I think it will be a plus when you die there than die in your own country, because they pay per hour, and what they pay them per hour is double. Let me say times 5 of what we take per hour here.
Per hour here, month.
So that is it. So somebody living abroad, what is making in a day? What is making in a day is not even amounting to what they do and receive per month. Aside working per month, they also have side hustles, and what that side hustles is paying them. If they want to calculate it per what you are taking a month, you can work 20 years, and what you have in your savings for that 20 years is somebody's 1 month salary. I'm telling you the fact. And that is why sometimes people feel like, why you mama buying? What do you have? You have nothing to show.
You have nothing.
So that is why a lot of public workers, They want to loot. Because that is the only way they can survive.
Government should consider and make it a priority to be increasing the salaries of those working in the public sector.
Very necessary.
So that corruption will come down.
They don't even think about that. You remember last year they were increasing salary. How much did they increase it?
I think 11 something. Is it 11% or if I'm not mistaken? Let's look at our last story. Kufuor proposes non-partisan chamber to vet presidential nominees. Former President John Ejokun Kufuor has criticized Ghana's current ministerial vetting process, saying the government's multi-party parliamentary system makes it difficult for Parliament to independently scrutinize presidential nominees. According to him, when the president's party holds the majority in Parliament, nominees are almost always approved because the majority members of the vetting committee tend to support the president's choices. Mr. Kufuor explained that because parliamentary committees reflect the party composition in Parliament, the majority side often dominates the process, which can weaken the ability of the minority to effectively challenge nominees. He said this situation limits Parliament's oversight role, as party loyalty may sometimes take precedence over objective evaluation of qualification and competence of nominees. Drawing from his own political experience as a former member of Parliament in 1969 and 1979, and later as president from 2001 to 2009, Mr. Kufuor said the challenges within the vetting systems are not new. He referred to the common parliamentary saying, "The minority must have its say, but the majority will have its way," to illustrate how majority power often determines the outcome of vetting processes. As a possible reform, the former president proposed the creation of a non-partisan second chamber made up of experienced professionals and respected national figures to handle the vetting of key public officials. According to him, such a body could assess nominees strictly based on merit and competence, and its deliberations could be conducted openly to ensure transparency and public trust. The issue of ministerial vetting in Ghana has long been debated, with critics across different administrations accusing Parliament Appointee Committee of often endorsing presidential nominees without sufficiently rigorous scrutiny. So this is coming from our former president, John Ejokun Kufuor, the gentle gent. Miss Debbie, do you buy into his opinion that it's high time that Ghana's ministerial vetting process is set aside for a second chamber to vet those people, and those second chamber is actually going to constitute of knowledgeable people, experts who can conduct rigorous investigation and scrutiny on whoever that is being brought on board to occupy a particular office. And that takes me back to one minister, aspiring minister, who was vetted and was asked to define coding. Wasn't able to define what coding is, but was still given the ministerial position.
I like the fact that he said non-partisan chamber.
Yeah, non-partisan chamber.
Yeah, I think it's about time we try that too.
But he was once a president. So what happened? Why didn't he change it? Or
maybe
the idea came back when he left power.
Maybe that is a politician for you, so we will take it like that.
But you could have still,
because after all they won't change. So.
But you could have still proposed it to your member of party. Is it the previous administration?
Yes. So he might have his own reason for not proposing it when he was the president. So I think what he's saying is very, very, very true. Okay, so when we are vetting people, I think they should be experts. They shouldn't be just normal parliamentarians. Okay, and they should be free from You see, this thing, it's kind of funny, but it's not. Imagine I've been called to be vetted. I'm a drone. I only Regina Netto.
That's how I feel.
And you get it.
I wouldn't even take what you're saying serious.
Don't even ask you questions. They'll ask you the question, but you answer wrongly, but you still have
I will still get it.
Because it is what it is.
In fact, immediately I see the two of you, I start laughing.
Check.
You know, like, it depends with the kind of cordial relation you have with the people. So I remember some time ago, was it Afenyo Marking that was chairing a committee to vet? I don't know whether Ato Forcing or
it's Ato Forcing who was
supposed to vet
the friend. And the rest was, hey, Ato, you are my friend.
You are my friend, yeah. You see, and then sometimes one time it was Afenyo Marking that was vetting someone, and before I think in the midst of this thing, then he stopped and he said, "We are putting friendship aside, and we are."
But it's not supposed to be so.
It's not supposed to be so.
It's supposed to be a neutral body altogether.
Simple.
Doing this whole thing.
Neutral body. You see, it's not as if when I go there and I see the two of you, you cannot vet me. But it's because I have like a statement.
You will not be serious.
You will not be serious. A statement like you going and then you go to meet your bestie that like in real life you don't really respect. It's not that you don't respect it, but you have that
you
kind
are
of
familiar with that
exactly
person, familiarity.
In fact, so besides because she could be laughing, I'm looking at you. I wouldn't be even serious with whatever question you put for like for me to answer. So I feel like we are going to, because I know we have an aim to achieve as a country. We are not just following a train, but we have a destination we are supposed to arrive at. So since we are trying to convince ourselves that as it stands out, we are evolving, then we need to change the usual way of doing our things. And one of it has to do with the way and manner in which parliamentarians, including appointees, are being vetted. Whoever is being called to vet, I know they don't just call anybody at all to vet. They bring out people who are, knowledgeable, experts, intellectual to vet these people. But sometimes I feel like they should just bring non-partisan people on board. Faces they are in government, the whole position, but you don't have that kind of flow with those people. I remember when this former deputy finance minister or say Abena Asari, when she was dealing with this issue, this fraud issue,
public accounts
committee, and it has to do with this fraudulent act of the MPP. She was trying to cover up for them. I saw it. I said, what is this woman doing? She was trying to cover up questions that she was supposed to ask the person, like, as anybody can no cover, cover. What is that? It's bad. It doesn't send a good signal out there. So when we bring in people that we feel like these people are non-partisan, they are true to what they are doing, they are going to hit on a target. I know people that are so serious. I have back in school, a teacher of my science teacher, when he sees you in town, you are his best friend. Immediately he comes to class, he doesn't know you. So we have people like that who can be so close to you, but when it means business, they don't even care. And then no matter how well you want to mean business, imagine I go to meet you. No matter how well you want to mean business, like it won't just far. It won't just far. So please, I feel like this, we shouldn't see it from the lens of politics because he's a former president and so he's trying to bring up something. No, we should just view it on a positive note and then ensure that the best thing is being done.
Right, Miss Gina. Oh yeah, call back.
Okay, so we are looking at non-partisan chamber to vet presidential nominees, and I think it's a very good thing. When we do that, we will desist from favoritism and also I think accepting people, who are not competent, because as we all are saying, sometimes familiarity breeds disrespect. You would go to the vetting room, see someone you are very familiar with, to the point where you can even disrespect the person, choose to decide to play around and all that. So I think non-partisan chamber is a very good thing and they need to consider it. Yeah.
Boano, Fefe, Miss Regina, Miss Debbie, thank you so much for joining me briefly to discuss and look into some few news headlines. Thank you so much for joining us. Up next, we have the second segment. Please stick and stay with us.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show right here on Ghana Talks Radio. This is your favorite online radio station, and we are streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Talks Radio, on YouTube at Ghana Talks Radio, and also on X, formerly known as Twitter, on Ghana Talks Radio. Do well to log on, send in your comments. Let's get interactive and engage on the topics on board this morning. And as you know it, on the second segment, we come along with knowledgeable guests who are going to dive into the issues and share their informed perspectives on issues that matter to you every morning right here on the show. And as you know it, we come from the NPP and also from the NDC. We are going to have a very insightful and a very balanced conversation right here in the studios. So from the camp of the NDCs, we have Mr. Sami Kwache, who is also the NDC's communications team member. We also have Mr. Mohammed Sharif from the NPP communications team. Good morning to you, gentlemen, and you are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Kwache. How are you doing?
Oh, divine grace. You're also looking very good.
Thank you.
You are doing a marvelous job for Mother Ghana.
Thank you. We are doing our best. It's been a while we saw you here. Hope all is well.
Yes.
School, work.
Combining school, party work. You see, once the party is in power, we have to also do our best to keep the base together. It's not like the party is in power and we will sideline the base. No. So we combine work, party work, and then school together, 3 in 1. That has kept me aside a bit from attending the show, but
right.
It's all good. Yes,
it's all good. It's good to have you here.
I'm most grateful.
Right. Thank you. Mr. Sharif, good morning to you, and you're welcome.
Good morning. Thank you so much.
How are you doing?
Not really good.
Oh, why? What happened?
Not really good.
You are always not good whenever you come on my studios.
I do, but
whenever you come on my show, you are not good.
I am physically good, but you know,
I know. The government is not doing something right. That is why you are not good. I know.
honestly, I can't be well seeing a brother cry.
Who is crying?
Oh, should I tell you the people that are crying?
Who are the people?
Well, I have some NDC friends who are just complaining here and there.
Why? What happened?
The complaints are just too much.
What's the complaint?
From the recent recruitment process.
Is it the military?
Yes, please. I was saddened to hear whatever is going on there, and even they themselves, the grassroots full soldiers of the NDC, are not able to benefit from that.
Oh, but I think the Interior Minister has actually come out to clarify that.
He has come out to clarify it, but look,
As to why some people didn't meet the threshold to be admitted into the military.
So the grassroots and the food soldiers are even saying that the slots are not enough. It's not enough.
The slots, as in those that
they are supposed to pick
for the party, or
those
that they are supposed to pick.
They were to pick 5,000
people,
individuals, and they took applications of about 200,000, almost 200,000.
Almost 200,000.
Yes.
And then how many people have they picked so far?
Just the 5,000.
Just the 5,000.
You see that?
And so I believe you are aware that when you are going to buy forms for something, they give you a particular number of people that they are going to pick. So if you meet that criteria, you are positive that you are going to to have it. So it's a probability, it's a possibility, it's not a possibility.
Good one.
So I think that those that were not admitted, they should just admit it and take it in good faith.
Good one. Yeah. Well, that's what you think. My brother, keep quiet. It's not for you.
I think
now you see what I'm trying to say.
Be nice
is that,
with your language, please.
Sorry.
Right.
Oh, I was just saying that the time is not for him.
No, but he said he should keep quiet. I feel that's too.
Oh, really? Oh, then sorry.
No problem. Feel free.
Well, I'm saying that their grassroots are angry. That's just it. It's a very clear thing. They are not mattering whether they are taking merits, doing it meritorious, but they are saying that their government is in power and they are not getting whatever they are supposed to get.
But did they meet the criteria?
And that's why they are crying. Some of them met the criteria.
And then they didn't pick them.
Yes, that's why they are making noise. I don't know why. Do you know my brother is here? I don't know why my brother is here.
He said I should keep quiet.
I don't know why he's
here. You want to draw me
to
into your conversation.
Shift from that. But your people are very angry. And look, it is even hard to go out and shout a Yezu in Ghana today.
Why?
It is hard to go out and shout. If you see any young guy outside and you try to shout a Yezu with the guy, one shout, a straw will because they are very angry. And it is not something that I just wait to say. It's a clear thing. You see? It's a clear thing. Well, keep on pretending.
But Sharif,
2028
how do you admit somebody who is not fit for? Would you be happy to see a military person on the roadside and you get to find out that the person is a drug addict? Would you be happy?
Good one.
Because
I will even say I will exceedingly commend the Interior Minister for meritoriously going about the process. But the fact of the matter is that there are people who are complaining, and the people I know personally that went through the process are crying that what at all was used to disqualify them. I am talking from a perspective that they were expecting their government to give them jobs. You were promising the youth a lot of jobs. Today you are here and you are with just 5,000 slots. You don't want them to complain?
But that is the capacity they
Good one.
So because they are promised people jobs, so you think they should expand that number?
Is that stopping the fact that the grassroots are crying? It doesn't.
So what if you qualify? I believe you will have it. But if you don't qualify,
you ask me that how am I doing?
Here in this chair for the fact that I preach, okay, GhanaTalks Radio is a very good media. If I come and I can't speak good English, I'm not eloquent, do you think they'll pick me because I make noise that GhanaTalks Radio is a
good one? And I'm telling you that I've told you that I commend the minister for what meritoriously going through the process.
I'm sure there will be other jobs.
They are crying. That's just the fact of the matter.
Right.
They are crying. My brother, let me
hear from
that your people are crying.
This is actually coming from your camp, and it looks like he has more. He's crying for you people.
Oh, that's just it.
He's crying for you people. But
solidarity.
Are you angry?
Solidarity.
Can I have a bite now? Can I have
your
a bite
bites,
now?
please?
Okay. First. Okay. Let me start this way. You see. At a point, I realized yourself you were surprised, and I want to urge you not to be surprised with MPP communicators, because they are the same people who are praying that the Middle East issue will escalate for the country to be in troubles and stuff. So don't be surprised with them. Let me tackle the issue that he spoke about. You see, one thing that they always forget about is that they think Ghanaians have forgotten where we came from since 2017 to 2024. My brother, you should bear in mind that at this point in time, the elite group in the country are too many for you to deceive. I want to ask simple questions. We're in this country for almost 3 to 4 years. Do you ever heard security forms or security recruitment being announced? You see, Madam Host, maybe you might have information that I may not have because of the nature of your work. We're in this country for 3 to 4 years, consistently. All that you hear, I have stated this numerous times, that all that you hear is that people have passed out from their training, security training, and they are coming out. We live in a country 2025, 2026, where security recruitment from the onset, from the scratch, is being announced day in, day out. Informations are being coming out. Again, when President Mahama was touring the country, did he ever make statement that when he come, he's going to recruit only NDC members into our security services?
No, I don't think I heard anything like that.
Yes. Did President Mahama come for Ghanaians, or he came for only NDC members?
He's for the Ghana and he's for the country.
NDC gave birth to President Mahama as a politician. That doesn't mean he is in to serve interest of only NDC members. I understand. My heart stands with each and every NDC sympathizer who bought forms or who went through the processes, but due to 1 or 2 issues,
they couldn't pass.
Yesterday, around 10:09 thereabouts PM in the evening, I was doing my research, readings and stuffs, and a friend called me, a lady. She called me and told me she failed the, what do you call it, the test. And she was frank to me. She's an NDC sympathizer. She was frank to me that, my friend, you know something, the exams I didn't finish, and my capabilities didn't meet the kind of questions that they were asking. So I told her, better luck next time. We hope for the best. That doesn't mean I'm here, I'm an NDC member, so by force the government should fix me somewhere. People are frustrated, I understand. I said my heart would always stand with them. People are frustrated for 8 years previously. Right. But that doesn't mean, as Dr. Baumia was campaigning and promising MPP grassroots that when he comes, he is going to bring a database that would help recruit only MPP members. No. President Mahama is the president of the Republic of Ghana. President Mahama, who was given birth by the NDC, is not a president for the National Democratic Congress alone. And I repeat,
right.
Even in his government at the presidency, don't we have CPP members serving there as presidential staffers? Recently, their own son, Alan Cherematin, he came out that with ideologies that the man possesses, he's going to work with him when he moved to the AU. So I don't know what my brother is talking about. People are crying and stuff, and because I spoke about this Middle East issue, once I took my seat, I received a message from a very good brother of mine who is currently plying his trade at Dubai, the CEO of Controller Art Services, Mr. Bismarck Kwedoachia. I want to warmly greet him this morning for making time to watch the program. He's a very hard-working guy.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Is it Bismarck? Did you mention
Mr. Bismarck.
Mr. Bismarck, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Right, at this juncture, we are going to dive straight into the topic for discussion this morning. This has to do with the SIM card re-registration in Ghana that the National Communications Authority said is going to, prevent fraudulent activity and also improve our security as Ghanaians. And I think over the past years, we've done this SIM card re-registration. If I'm not mistaken, in October 2021, we were asked to link our Ghana card to our SIM card to improve security and also to get our data. So over the past year, SIM card re-registration has been a major national exercise. The back and forth, slow network, people didn't have Ghana card, they have applied for it. It's been a problem right here in this country, and this exercise has been going on for quite some time now. So the government says linking SIM card to the Ghana card is important to help fight mobile fraud, cybercrime, and other illegal activities carried out through anonymous phone numbers. However, many citizens are questioning, why do we have to do another re-registration of our SIM card after it's been introduced by the previous administration? We did that, and some believe that it will strengthen security, whilst others say that this one is like if people are just coming to disturb us again, because going to join that long queue, they'll tell you that the network is bad, the network is slow, so you have to wait for some minutes, some hours, you have to stand in a long queue to make sure that you register your Ghana card with your SIM card with your Ghana card. And there were instances where they told us that if you don't register your Ghana card, your SIM card with your Ghana card, it means that your SIM card will be inactivated, though you will not be able to use it again.
Sure.
So when it happened like that, people were running helter-skelter to go and make sure that they are registering their SIM card again. But Sam George is back. He said SIM card re-registration will go on again, and a length is expected to take place somewhere in a few months to come. I don't want to be specific with the date and the month. Maybe I might get it wrong. But Mr. Kwache, why is it that the previous administration we did it? This new administration, you've also come. You say we should do it. Why?
Okay. First of all, let me also greet the Minister of Communication and Digital Technology, Honorable Samuel Ate George. Because we are moving to his ministry, I want to greet him this morning. Okay, so first, the country at the point was in a population of about 20-25 million thereabouts. Fast forward, because generation go, generation come, the country is over 30 million population. That's I'm making this a preliminary statement because we get being populated day in, day out. Putting that aside, during the previous administration led by was it Kwadwo Oponkroma or yes, Kwadwo Oponkroma,
and is this
no, it was led by Esla and Fatima to Abubakar or something, yes. During their period, they did their best with this SIM registration. Even though at the time there was COVID-19 and stuff, if you truly remember, people were asked to re-register their SIM. I had no problem during that time because sometimes it hurts when people uses your identification or something for fraudulent activities. Yeah, it hurts. So at the point when they were doing that, I applauded them if that was going to help
keep for
kept for bad nuts in the system. But afterwards, every individual on the street will agree with me that hasn't yielded the results that we all expected.
We're looking for.
So, Honorable Samuel Nate George, during his vetting, stated emphatically that this new re-registration, it's not going to be something that we have to go and form queues and stuff to re-register. And per my understanding, it's going to be something that I think you're going to, if not for a little assistance for our elderly people and staffs, we the ones who are able to operate our phones and in and out are going to do it ourselves. And if indeed it's going to be something that is going to help curb the fraudulent activities on our network system, I support it. And I don't think any well-being Ghanaian will oppose this if it's going to help. Because I have experienced certain thing. Was it 2024 or 2025? I was there one day. I saw my pictures on social media that are wanted. I said, wanted for what reason? Upon further investigation, not knowing, somebody have used my details for this online loans and stuffs, of which I myself, I wasn't aware of. So in fact, I became very furious. One day I was there, then a number called me that we are taking our loan. I said, oh, okay. For all this, so I was looking for whoever was circulating my pictures on social media. If that's the case, I'm taking your company straight to court for defamation, because I have not taken any loan from you. Later on, somebody gave me some short code to check whether my Ghana card have been used to register SIMs that maybe I'm not aware of. I checked, and it was over 8 different numbers that have been registered with my Ghana card. Meanwhile, I don't know anything about this. Besides that, at the time I only had 3 numbers. So where from the other 5? So if this issue is going to curb the inconveniences in our digital system, I think we should all welcome it in good faith. Hope that, because we are building a country, the country is not a developed country, we are still developing. So if something would help, I don't think there is something that we should politicize it, that, oh, MPP did it, NDC came and they are doing it. No, I don't think it's good. Today, people have over 70% have Ghana card. Meanwhile, this Ghana card, if you go back and check in history, around 2008, 2009, thereabouts, this thing was done. But when President Akufo-Addo came, they did it again, and many of us have it now. So if Sam George have ways and means, proper ways and means to help solve a situation, I think we should all applaud him, welcome it in good faith, so that the country would be a developed country one day.
Right. So what happened to the previous one that we did? The previous administration conducted. What happened to that? What went wrong with that we have to do a new one?
Yes. So as I said, I stated earlier on that they did their very best. Just that maybe their best wasn't that enough to solve this issue. I'll not sit here and say what they did was nuisance or something. Just that we all bear it a fact that it hasn't solved the problem that.
And what is that problem?
Yeah, so I think 3 days ago, one of the telcos, one of their directors was granted an interview with either Joy or something. City, okay, sure. And he stated that he don't think re-registration alone would curb the issue, but there are certain security measures that must be put in place before we go ahead to do this re-registration. And fast forward, after that interview, my understanding is that the minister in charge of communication, Sam George, is trying his best to engage the telcos, the managing directors of the telcos, to see how best we can put things together and do this once and for all, so that in future, if we are going to do it again, it will be something for a new entrant, people who have bought their since years. It wouldn't be a general something for the over 30 million populated people in the country. Yes.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Kwache. Master Sheriff. Why are we going to re-register a SIM card with a Ghana card? What happened to the one we did in your administration?
Good one. Thank you so much for the opportunity once again. But before I start on this matter, my colleague here, the NDC communicator, made a false statement, and I have to make it clear. Now, he said that the NDC government, the MPP government, has never announced recruitment into the security service during our tenure. He said we've never done that. That can we please, please, that was what you said here. That was what you said.
Did I say never?
Oh,
I said
please,
almost
you misled the people that were listening to us. So if I'm ready to make it clear, don't try to come in again. No.
What do you want to clarify?
These are the kind of lies they've been spreading,
so
and it's like good one. So please, let me do that. So you said it. I had it here. I wrote it here because it was a palpable lie that I had to make clear to the people. Now, he said that, and he even asked you that, have you ever heard that the MPP government has ever announced recruitment into the security services? That there has never been any announcement, just like they have done. And he was using that to commend their government for even announcing DS. That was what you were saying, please. So this is what I'm trying to make clear. Good one. So please,
people are watching
please,
us out
people
there.
are.
I don't want him to
please.
misquote.
That
I
was
did
what
not
you
say
said.
never. I said
So,
for 3 to 4 years.
No.
I asked a specific question.
Listen.
Quote my
Listen.
words,
For
brother. For us to have a smooth
right.
Listen. You said so. You didn't say ever. That you've never heard. So that is why I want to clear to you.
Quote my words.
Mr. Kwache,
listen.
Allow him to clarify.
I don't know why you are eating into my time. You made something, and so I want to make it clear to you. Is that not what you want? No good one? So is that not what you want?
Kwache, please, respectfully, I want you to allow him to clarify.
I'll allow you,
but you are interjecting him.
What I'm saying is that once you are moderating the show, I asked the question that for 3 to 4 years.
Eating into my time, so you should notice that. Notice that. You should notice that. You said it here. Let me say it again. What you said.
That's not what he said.
He's pretending. He is pretending.
You can't say
I was here.
He said that's not what he said.
I was here when he said it, and I'm.
After the program,
please, you play it and listen to it yourself. You said that you've never heard, and you even asked the host. That
communication has been difficult.
Mr. Sherry, you have 6 minutes. You've already consumed 2 minutes.
Oh, you are adding it. Let's be honest, please. He interjected.
No,
he came and said I was supposed to go.
You said you want to clarify. You said you want to clarify something.
Yes.
And I've given you the time to do so.
And he was coming
interjecting, and I'm telling him not to. So I'm telling you to proceed.
So you just told me to do that, and
so
you said
proceed.
that.
Then
Good
we'll
one.
Move into
Thank you so much.
You answering my question.
So he's saying that, or whatever he has even tried to say now again, that for the past 3 or 4 years that the MPP government has never, he said it here, has never announced a recruitment into the what do we call it, into the security services. And I want to make it clear to him that it is here. Good one. 7th August, just this 7th August 2024, the Ghana Police Service and the Prison Service announced a recruitment into their services. Not even that alone, when you come in 2017, the Ghana Police Service publicly announced recruitment that began on 20th November 2017, and on 23rd January 2018, another notice was issued for security a screening to begin. Now, what you said here was not true, and I have to make it clear to the people. Also, it is very important I make all these things clear. You also said that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, during his campaign, as he was vying for the flag bearership race, that he made it clear to the MPP delegate that he is going to give them 10 appointments per constituency. Now, it is not for just MPP people. No, this is very clear. It is not. It is for the constituency. So whatever people that are going to receive these appointments is going to be in the benefit of the people in the constituency.
Right.
The database and other things is going to be in the benefit of the people. So don't sit here to make all those false statements. It is not good.
Right.
It is not good.
Right. It's been
Good.
clarified. Now let's move on.
Thank you very much. So with this SIM card re-registration again, you know, we the MPP, we always commend what is good, because the MPP starting it the past years doesn't mean that the fraudulent acts has stopped. You see that? But our problem is how this government and its ministers go about issues. They promise us this, and the next day we are going through this. Now you were talking about the stress we are going to go through again. So see, I would have even expect that introducing it again and looking at what we went through the past years, at least it should have even been something we could do online.
So it's been said it will be done online.
Good one. That is, I'm coming. So even if it will be done online, we are also looking at how they will go about it, because that minister himself, Sam George, will tell us this and he will come to do this. We give reference back to when he was telling us that he centered on price, that DSTV should reduce prices for Ghanaians, making noise all over the country that he is going to work, he is working, and the next day it was a different story altogether, that they have given us value and we don't appreciate it. Now he tell us this and he do a different thing. He tell us this and he do a different thing. This is what Ghanaians doesn't like about the minister. So the same re-registration is very commendable. We commend it, but how they are going to go about the process. We don't want to hear this today and the next day we are hearing a different thing, because that is the actions of that minister. And my brother here can testify to that. He will say this and the next day he's doing a different thing. Ghanaians are stressed up. Ghanaians are stressed. So going through this process is going to be a whole lot of stress again. So we don't want to start the process and it will be of different issues again. Other than that, I don't have anything much to say on this thing, because obviously fraudulent acts are still going on, and so therefore we have to take initiatives to make sure that what do we call it, our phones and whatever our gadgets that we use should be safeguarded. Now I want to use some of my time to commend one member of parliament who is doing.
Can you do that after the show, please?
I just wanted to. All right, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I want, so bringing this initiative on board during your term in office, what was the goal of it? Was it to sort out the fraudulent activities, or was it just give your SIM card an identity?
I would say both.
To solve the fraudulent activities.
It was because there were fraudulent activities, and also attaching the Ghana card to the SIM card was a good thing, because the identity will be very clear, and it adds up to what we always say about the Ghana card, to be the Ghanaian in you. That is why we are even trying to make sure that in everything we are going to do, our Ghana cards will be required. Yes, please. So these were the factors we took into consideration to bring that safe registration.
Right. Did it really improve security?
Yes, it did enough. But what I said earlier, we introducing that, or that process being done doesn't mean that the acts won't still go on, but it's just about how we continue to deal with that. And that is why I'm commending this current minister for bringing it back again, so that we could go about the process well to safeguard our properties that are in our phones and other things.
Right.
Yes, please.
So during the previous administration, they mentioned a lot of challenges that has to do with the system being slow, people not receiving their Ghana card, and standing in long queues and some other issues. Do you think that making the Ghana card the only gateway to link your SIM card to the Ghana card, or to register your SIM card, do you think that making the Ghana card the only identity is right in the first place? Because some people have applied to have the Ghana card and they still not have it, and then due to that, we've seen cases where someone linked his or her SIM card with his Ghana card. These are some of the reasons why, because they didn't want their numbers to be blocked, because that was what the sector told us, that if you don't register your SIM card with your Ghana card, your SIM card will be deactivated. It will be blocked. So due to that, some people had to patch. It's like you have to patch.
I did so.
Yes.
I even did so at that
Do you
time.
think that it was right to use just the Ghana card as an identity to register?
Good one. So what I was saying earlier, we consider how we want to use the Ghana card. I mean, for that to be the Ghanaian in us. So you see, in whatever we will do, it can't just be done at once. That one, it is clear. So through that, we will definitely have to go through some stress, because that is something that is going to help our country. That is something that is going to safeguard our properties. You see that? So although I personally went through that, but we wouldn't prioritize the little stress we'll go through over the benefit that registration is going to do for us. You get that?
Yeah.
That is just what I will say.
All right.
Yes.
Mr. Kwache, your thoughts, please.
Okay. Before I bring out my thoughts, it doesn't seem it's the first time that I'm meeting my brother on the show. But I'll urge him that in communication, when you are speaking and you draw me into whatever you are saying, I will interject. It's a simple rule in communication. If you want to engage somebody in communication, but not your own opponent, you engage the moderator, where in this case, the moderator is the host. When I was speaking about security recruitment, I asked the question that for almost 3 to 4 years, we didn't hear security recruitment advertisements. He said he was clarifying to the people out there, but he gave examples 2024, 2017, 2018. Meanwhile, your government spent 8 years in power. So I will just urge him to do the right thing, to choose his words very
was
well,
wrong about what I said,
so that next
What was
time
wrong?
we wouldn't experience this anymore. Because I would like for us to have a smooth show, then we all go our way. Yes, but when you create an impression out there, I will interject. For that one, it's a rule in communication. Very good. With that being said, you asked him a question whether he feels or he thinks the Ghana card as the how do you call it, card or details for SIM re-registration is the best. Yes. He had his opinion. I want to also give my opinion about this. With the Ghana card as the singular details,
Only identity.
yes, for us to use in registration and stuff, until somebody raise this issue again at the courts, I don't think it will be a matter of whether it's good or it's no good. Because we're in this country, when the issue was being sent to the Supreme Court, unanimously, they said even the Ghana card determines your identification. more than the birth certificate. So if that determines my identification, what else should I use in registering my cement, other activities? So until that is being challenged at the Supreme Court for a review or something, I don't think there is a case for us to come back and look at it whether it's good or it's not good. Yes.
Right.
Because it's now a legal destiny. And when it comes to legalities, you go straight to what the law says.
Right.
Yes.
So, from the CEO of the Ghana Chamber of Telecommunication, she said that SIM card or SIM registration alone will not stop fraud. Is there an other alternative we can
Yes.
look at to sort out fraud?
That's what in my earlier submission I was making reference to. That he said, I don't know whether I've forgotten whether it's a male or a female.
It's a female.
Female. Okay,
Yes.
so she said in a broader discussion about her interview, she said re-registration alone, as I said, isn't enough.